So it's Citizen Hellgear, finally getting to the Sunavalon deck profile from Post, Burst of Destiny. Big Tree Go Burr got a brand new spell, and it makes it makes one monster in the main deck useful and returns a monster in the extra deck, like Sub and Bell for more. And let's count the cards. So, ratios haven't really changed too much in this deck since the pre-Burst of Destiny build. 3 Sunseed Genius Loki. Jeez, I can never get all 3 of them in focus. There we go. So, we have 3 Sunseed Genius Loki. This is the main normal monster of the deck. It is a level 1. It is targets for multiple cards, alongside of 2 Angel Trumpeters. These are your normal plant monsters. Monsters that you're going to need for a good majority of the extra deck. Remember, Angel Trumpeter is in here as a way to out the barrier statue of the Stormwinds. You got to be able to swing over that. Also keep in mind that my build is a control build, not a combo build. And whether you use Angel Trumpeter or Sunseed Genius Loki, Sunseed Shadow can special summon itself from the hand when you control a normal plant. It is your natural extender for the deck. Very useful for that and getting back your Link monsters as well, but it locks you into plants. 1 Sunseed Twin. This is really all you need in the deck, and with the new card, this card is a lot more useful. Two Sunvine Maidens. This is the protection for your Link monsters, and yeah. 2 Lone Fire Blossom. We know what we're using this for. Haha. Yeah, that's right. Lithozogen. Outside of the Lone Fire Blossom, the majority of the monsters in Sunavalon are Earth attribute. So, banishing 2 Earth monsters to rip 3 cards out of your extra deck shouldn't be too big a deal. Hand traps haven't changed at all. 2 Ash, 2 Lancia, 2 Skullmeister. Those ratios aren't any different. And they still get the job done no matter what happens. And it's nice to actually play Lancia to out non-banishing effects, like Flunderies. Alright, so the new whip in the deck, Sunvine Sowing, lets you special summon a Sunseed monster from your deck, and if you do, you take 1,000 damage. If you don't have a Sunavalon Link monster, when you play this card, you can only special summon Sunseed Genius Loki. Be careful, because this card does lock you into plant monsters for the rest of the turn out of the extra deck. If a plant link monster you control would be destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect, you can banish this card from the graveyard instead. And of course, this is a hard once per turn. Is this a hard once per turn, or is this an oat? It's an oat. Okay, so this is the oat. This can get you your Sun Seeds, usually twin, sometimes Genius Loki. And for the other times you don't get Genius Loki, there is Unexpected Die, which gets you Angel Trumpeter also. Two Sunvine Shrine. This is just, I feel very comfortable wielding 2 Sunvine Shrines. Just make sure you have a Sunavalon Link monster before you activate this card. Alright. And be sure to get all your other extra deck monster summons out before your plants, because this locks your extra deck into plant summons. It's not always a big of a deal, but there are instances where that comes up. And once per turn, you can special summon a a normal plant monster from your graveyard. That's level 4 or lower. That's your Sun Seeds, that's your Angel Trumpeters. I still play the one crossbreed, and I still feel comfortable with it. You're only tributing a link monster you control to special summon a plant from the graveyard with its effects negated. This is another way that you can get to Sunseed Genius Loki when you need to. This deck does a lot of looping of Sunseed Genius Loki. One for one. All the Sun Seeds are level 1 except for Twin, which is 2. So you've got some options. We know about these singles. We know how these cards work. We know about how the back row is a pain for Sunavalon. That's why we have Duster. Trap game. Remember, folks, Sunvine Shrine can be sent to the graveyard during your opponent's end phase to let you set a continuous trap. And Sunavalon Bloom is the main trap in this deck, shutting off your opponent's board when you have a Link 4 plant monster. There are no Link 5 plant monsters at the time of me recording this deck profile. There are 2 Link 4s. And yes, this deck plays both of them. And when a Link 4 attacks, it gains the attack of all of the monsters it points to during bat damage. And that can get your Link 4 plants very, very large. Storming Mirror Force is just really good defense. There will be that time when you need to blow something off your bat. Fog Blades for negates. I love bringing this card back with Sunvine Shrine after it's used. 2 Solemn Strike and 2 Polynosis. We all know how we're using Solemn Strike. And remember, folks, Polynosis is Solemn Judgment, but you tribute a plant monster instead of paying half of your life points. Extra deck game. We got the boys. Sunvine Thrasher at 3. U-board builds and combo plant builds are ballsy to play only 2 of these guys. So, to all of you out there playing 2 Thrashers, I commend you. I also have 1 Gardna, and a healer returns to the deck. So, if a Sunavalon Link monster leaves the field for a card effect, your Sunvine monsters are destroyed. Gardna can essentially cut damage you take in half in the battle phase. Healer can actually target a Sunavalon Link monster you control and give you 300 life per Link rating. And when your plant monsters do battle, it also gives you an extra 600 life points. Thrasher is your enforcer for the deck. This boy can get real big. It gains an extra 800 attack points after you target one of your Sunavalon Link monsters. So, for the rating that it has, it's an extra beat. So when you have the Link 4 plant out, the Link 4 tree, that guy becomes 4 rats and is a nasty piece. When he destroys monsters and sends them to the graveyard, you can special summon them to your side of the field with their effects negated. Very useful turnaround. I run 1 Sunavalon Melius. U-boards and combo builds run 2 of this. Mainly because, and this works really good with your Sunvines, because if it's pointing to a Sunvine monster, it can give it multiple attacks based on whatever else it points to. So say it's pointing to one of your trees and then a Sunvine Thrasher. Well, your Thrasher can attack twice if it's all linked together. Sunavalon Daphne is a decent link too. You can tribute it to bring back 2 of your extra deck monsters that are in the graveyard. So recurring your extra deck is always a good deal of business. And of course, they are trees, and they share the main effect of the regular tree. So we have 2 of the stage 1 tree, 2 of the stage 2 tree, and 1 of the stage 3 tree. Now, these trees, Melius and Daphne, share a similar effect, which pretty much translates to anytime an attack that would target them, it becomes a direct attack instead. These 3 levels of the trees also have an ability that they share, where if you would take damage, whether battle or effect, you can heal that damage up to the number of times per turn up to their link rating, and then after that, special summon a Sunvine monster from the extra deck. Now, if you link summon the level 1 tree with Sunseed Genius Loki, you can add a Sunvine spell from your deck to your hand. There are currently no Sunvine traps, so until we get a Sunvine trap, and one that we can use for Sunavalon's deck, we disregard the trap part. The level 2 tree doesn't have anything extra. The level 3 tree can move an attack target away. Then we have the level 4 tree. As a reminder to the people, the level 4 tree does not heal damage. People always seem to mistake that in my community. The Link 4 tree does not heal damage, but it does share the whole attacking this becomes a direct attack instead. You can tribute Link monsters, and when you do, you can blast cards on the field equal to their rating. This is one of your 2 Link 4 trees to work with Sunavalon Bloom. Bangalancer the Resurgent is the other Link 4 plant, and it too is a tree. This guy can actually bounce itself away. You take damage equal to the monster that you target, and if you banish Link monsters in your graveyard that equal exactly 4, this can come back. The last card in my extra deck is the Nat Beast. Nat Beast actually is very useful in this deck. Angel Trumpeter is a level 4 Earth Tuner as well as a plant, so you can work that out. That's all for this deck profile, you guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Remember to like, sub, and bell for more. But for now, I take my cards to the box because I'm done. Bye-bye, everybody.